because I think that they're going to – we really need to see if he's worth that money. And we don't know really what he can do or how much he's actually improved. He's shown some really good signs in the preseason. He looks like a much more of a team player. He looks more comfortable out there. But is he going to turn out to be, a good stats on a bad team guy? Or is he going to be able to be that team player that they really need him to be?
Well, you look at the Magic roster top to bottom. You look at a guy we haven't mentioned, Evan Fournier. A guy that can play both positions coming off, what he does. Can Fournier be the sixth man of this team, or is it going to be Hezonja? Who's going to be that guy taking most of the shots off the bench? Because to me, it seems like Fournier and Hezonja are the same type of player in a lot of ways. So if both of them are on the floor, which one is jacking the shots more? Is it going to be the veteran Fournier, or is it going to be the young kid Hezonja?
I think that I lean Hezonja because he'll shoot from anywhere on the court.
He has no conscience.
Not that Fournier won't do that,
right?
But I think that he's a little bit more comfortable out there now. He's going to pick his spots a little bit more, and they're going to be able to get him his shots in positions for him to succeed. But the thing to look for, I think, especially in the beginning of the season, is Fournier could start at the 3 for this team because of the fact that they haven't had Aaron Gordon. You don't know. Obviously Tobias Harris and Aaron Gordon can probably play together, but I think you need to see that in some game action a little bit more than the 3 or 4 minutes that they actually have so far. So, I'll go with Hezonja for now, but I think in the long term, I'll probably take Fournier as the team's 6th man.
Last question before we let you out of here, Zach. The Magic have 3 games this week. What do you think the Magic record is coming up this week in the 3 games before we go to Tuesday?
Ooh, it's tough. I think that they'll probably end up going 0-3, and it's just because of the talented teams that they're playing. You're playing 2 of the best in the Eastern Conference, and then a 3 or a 4 seed, maybe even a 2 in the Western Conference.
Mm-hmm.
So it's tough. Maybe they can catch somebody sleeping like they have been. They've played really well against the Bulls previously, but this is a completely different Bulls team than they faced. So 0-3, maybe 1-2, but I'm going to go 0-3 for now.
Zach, before I let you out of here, tell everybody how you get in contact with you in social media and what you got coming up.
Yeah, so everyone can follow me on Twitter at Zach Oliver NBA. As I mentioned, I just took over as managing editor at Orlando Pinstripe Post on SB Nation. Also, contributing pretty much anywhere that people let me, mostly at Friendly Bounce in the HP Basketball Network. And then I guess I'll let the cat out of the bag here. I guess this is the start of a weekly segment for me, talking some Magic with you guys. So it's gonna be a fun ride this season.
Exactly, and Zach is gonna be pretty much dictating how this ride goes. So Zach Oliver, thank you very much for coming in the studio tonight, and we'll see you again next Tuesday.
Thanks for having me, guys.
And before we go to the break, the Chicago Bulls have defeated the Cleveland Cavaliers 97-95 as Jimmy Butler deflects the inbound pass after LeBron James is blocked by Pau Gasol in the final waning seconds. We'll talk more about this, and we'll give stats as well as the Detroit Pistons Atlanta Hawks final when we get back from the break. This is Full Court Press Radio, sponsored by SOFOELLC.
The Open Mic with Mike Bianchi.
As much as O'Leary has done for this institution, quote, it's sickening, that's the quote, on how he was treated with just 4 games left. They're paying him $200,000 a year for the next 4 years as a consultant. Is that being treated badly? Good God. If O'Leary is indeed putting this out there, if O'Leary's putting this out there and O'Leary's people are putting this out there, shame on them. Shame on them.
Mike Bianchi, weekday mornings at 6 on FM 96.9 The Game. Somebody has to wake up that early.
Hey fans, this is Eric Kohler, stadium voice of UCF football. We invite you to tune in to EK Sports every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. as we feature the preferred picks of the week, insured by our good friends at Preferred Benefits Consultants, where it's always fun to pick those games of the week, but never a time to gamble with your health care. Find a Preferred Benefits Consultant at OrlandoHealthExchange.com. That's the letter X, OrlandoHealthExchange.com, and start saving today.
Are you looking for your dream home? Or are you looking to move out of your current home and find the home to start the next chapter of your life? Look no further. Jim Fouquet with Century 21 Rue Realty is your go-to guy to help you with all your needs. Specializing in West Orange County, Lake County, and Ocoee, his goal is to take care of you from the beginning to the end and is not satisfied until the job is complete. Stop by 401 West Colonial Drive, Suite 7, or give him a call, 321-945-6832. Jim Fouquet with Century 21 Rue Realty.
Hey, boss, explain to me again why we're here at this pumpkin patch in the middle of the night.
I told you, since pumpkin prices have gone through the roof this year, we're going to swipe these babies so we can sell them and make a fortune.
I don't like it, boss. Why can't we go back to breaking into houses?
Because so many people have discovered Safe Touch security that it's putting us out of business. You know we stay away from Safe Touch houses.
I know, boss, but stealing pumpkins?
You got a better idea, Sunshine? I mean, between Safe Touch's 45-second response time, the two-way communicator...
Boss, wait. What is that? Over there near that big pumpkin.
Oh, no. Is that what I think it is?
Boss, it's a Safe Touch sign. The patch is wired.
Quick, get to the van.
I'm going, boss.
They must have video monitoring. Curse you, Lester Jackson.
Let's get out of here.
Oh, I hate Safe Touch.
Folks, you know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
On your cell, call pound 250 or go to safetouch.com. State license EF233.
Are you looking for a fun experience on the water with your family? Bring them to the Orlando Water Sports Complex, located off Highway 528 near OIA. The Orlando Water Sports Complex provides an experience you won't soon forget, featuring cable wakeboarding, as well as the Super Air Nautique G23, the world's best wakeboarding and wake surfing boat for guests to enjoy. For more info, visit actionparks.com. That's AKTIONPARKS.com. And tell them Full Court Press sent you.
If you have a business dispute, I may have a solution for you that you didn't know was available. At Morgan & Morgan, we have a team of lawyers who only handle business cases, and you only owe us a fee if we're successful. All types of business cases, breach of contract, construction matters, real estate and real estate commissions, investment losses, to name a few. No case is too small. Many people and businesses just can't afford the cost of hourly lawyer fees or the initial deposit. We have another way. Recently, we received a $50 million judgment in a contract dispute, a $15.3 million verdict and judgment over a real estate deal, a $1.8 million verdict and judgment in a construction matter, and many other settlements and verdicts that you can find at forthepeople.com. We take the risk with you. We level the playing field with our financial resources and our lawyers' times. The only way we get paid is when you get paid. You don't have to be rich to be right. Morgan & Morgan, for the people. Offices, Orlando.
Welcome to Late Night Parents. I'm your host, Ted Hicks. We have a weekly podcast where we sit down and talk with game changers in the sports, technology, education fields. We even do product reviews and giveaways. Why, you ask? Because we're all parents. So if you're ready for an up-close and personal look, then you can check out our podcast. New episodes are available every Thursday. Catch us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, that's Late Night Parents. The site is latenightparents.com.
Now here's what's different about this, my friends.
We are the new FM 96.9 The Game.
We are back on Full Court Press Radio, sponsored by SOFOELC. The number to call in is 407-916-8255 or toll-free 800-729-8255. This is Dan Thompson checking in with you on FM 96.9 The Game, Orlando sports leader. And our featured guest of the evening is pretty much one of my favorites and one of the show's favorites writers From the Sacramento Bee, he knows pretty much everything Sacramento Kings. And so if I ever need anything about the Kings, I will always ask this guy. Our good friend Jason Jones. Jason, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Well, it's a wonderful night. It's opening night, and at least you get the night off until tomorrow, right?
Right. Yeah, I guess kind of night off. I mean, I'm.
Jason, let's get into it. You cover one of the most interesting teams in the NBA, and if this was, if HBO had a chance to do Hard Knocks, I'm pretty sure this is the team they would have chosen. The Sacramento Kings has every single storyline possible with the exception of Matt Barnes attempting to punch out Derek Fisher.
Well, just think if they had gotten Josh Smith, which they were courting. Ooh, my goodness.
What if they had gotten Monte Ellis?
Him too, yeah.
So for those who don't cover the Kings like you do, Jason, they have George Karl. They have all these different question marks. How does George Karl get all these personalities, Rondo, Boogie, Rudy Gay, all in line together? And what is the thought process of all this?
Well, as far as the way the team is assembled, the main thought was this team needed talent. It didn't really matter about personalities and as much as just the fact this team was so devoid of just the talent, veteran leadership, diversity, and skills. I mean, essentially the last 3, 4, 5 years, they've had a bunch of either ball-dominant point guards or wings who best played isolation ball. And then you just had DeMarcus in the middle of that. So it really wasn't a well-balanced team the way things were set up. I always thought that the team needed to shake things up as far as, maybe even it meant getting a guy who wasn't as highly as touted, just getting some different types of guys in there because they really could, like setting the rotation didn't really matter because essentially 4 through 13 were almost the exact same guy. Mm-hmm. So now you've got a much better balance of players, I think. And basically what you're going to have to, George's got to do is let the veterans in a lot of ways run things. You talked about players have to police their own locker room, to a large degree, and he doesn't want to step in on everything. So it's going to be up to the players, and then I guess George would want to step in kind of on an as-needed basis.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned talent because the person I want to talk about has all the talent in the world. I loved the pick when you guys grabbed Boogie Cousins. My goodness, I'm over here struggling. But I love the pick when you guys grabbed him. I knew that was going to be one of the steals of that draft. Let's talk about him for a second. What do you think his ceiling is? Is this going to be a year that he's an MVP candidate? I mean, what are you expecting out of him?
I mean, MVP is going to be tough unless they somehow break through big time, say like a top 5 team in the West.
I agree. I'm quoting him, though. He did mention that he was, an MVP candidate.
Yeah, I mean, I have no problem with him saying that he should want to be an MVP candidate. I don't want guys on my team who don't want to be that. But, I mean, you look at last year, all dysfunction and everything that was going on, guys typically puts up 23-12 or 23-13 last year.
Right.
So, I mean, I think with better players around, better space, his numbers actually might, at least scoring-wise, might be down a little bit. That wouldn't surprise me. But I think what you're going to see is you're going to, maybe with the spacing, you'll see his passing really take off. He gets turnovers down. I mean, the kid's a gifted passer. I mean, he sees the court very well. Sometimes, I mean, that's why he gets some of the turnovers that he's trying to find, get the ball to guys or maybe they weren't expecting it, But if he gets those turnovers down, I definitely expect him to be back in the All-Star game, All-NBA type player again. And I think if the Kings can win games, win more than 29-30, I think there'll be more talk about his play and less about his attitude.
And that's funny you bring that up because that was going to be my next question. Attitude-wise, him and George Karl, have kind of had a riff. Now, whether it's more media blown up or not, that's more for you to comment on. But what's the mental state of Cousins there, mainly in accordance with Karl?
Okay, well, the rift was very real. I mean,
okay.
And I know people are going to tell you, no, it was very real. The part that was also real that maybe got underreported was that DeMarcus did not want to be traded.
Okay, good.
He did not want to leave Sacramento, and so that's where you kind of had a stalemate. They weren't going to fire George. even though a lot of people, they were very upset with what happened in the summer. There were a lot of people there were angry about the way things went down, and they felt, so when they finally met up, George had